Okay, I believe we're live once again. Right, I'm really hoping that the microphone's okay today, guys. You'll have to let me know. Right, let's start saying hello to people in the chat. As always, good evening. If you've just joined us, let me know how the mic is. I think it's okay this week. It was a disaster last week, wasn't it? Okay. Right, so hi to Matthew Allcrow, Paul Hoskin, the Goody 1963, Matthew again, Glenn Hendricks, is it? Popcorn, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I know. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. Let me know, guys. Hi to No Name. Ryan Tesco, is it? Hi to you. Shinarana, hi. Thanks for that. Robert UK, hi. Nothing on the mic yet. Is it sounding okay this week? Okay, Shinarana. Mic is good, mate. I'll tell you what it was in a minute when I'll just get a couple more people tell me it's okay. No point if everybody says it's the same. Is it Gildine7? Hello, Peter. Best wishes from Germany. Yeah, hi. I hope you heard the 3 stories today. The third one about the guy who had all that trouble with his passport. He was actually German, young guy. Matthew says perfect sound, loud and clear. Okay, great. So we're back in the game. I'll tell you what, guys, I was so pissed off last week. What it was, there's a setting, not in the PC, but in this, I'm not sure if it's a software or the PC, but sometimes the software just switches over to the other camera, which is the the one from last week, not this one, the one on the camera. And I went in, somebody told me that once the stream starts you can't adjust it, because I was panicking and pressing all the buttons. And then afterwards, I obviously analyzed it a little bit. So what I've actually done, I've actually disabled in the settings, I've disabled the microphone that's built into the camera. So in theory it shouldn't come back in, and before each stream I'm double checking it. So I mean that was pretty awful, wasn't it? So as long as if I'm coming through loud and clear now, then that's great. So we've just started. We've got 75 in the stream. And have you got a few beers for later, guys? I've got the Kronenberg, as always, 2 of them. This is a smaller one. This is a 500 ml can, so not quite a pint, but obviously bigger than the 440. So what you all been up to this week? Right, say hi to Pinball. Ian Butch one, morning from New Zealand. Yeah, hi. Let's try to catch up with some of these newer. Hi, Damien. Evening, Peter. Sound and picture is great. We are in for a good stream. Yeah, I'm going to say hi to Damien. Damien's a guy. He's in every stream. He comments on every video. I've been emailing Damien this week. Just find out a little bit of background on him, and told him a few things about myself. We exchanged some pictures and that. And it's quite interesting, really. You talk to people through chat and you get comments, but when you dig in a little bit, Damien was telling me about he bought some land up near Buriram with his partner, and they weren't able to build the house that they planned to build on this land because everything that's gone on. So they put it on hold, but Damien didn't want his partner to be sitting around doing nothing. So what they decided to do was grow rice. And you always hear these stories about rice farmers are all poor, they don't make a lot of money in Thailand. And Damien sent me a picture of this rice that they'd raked out, and it must have been, it wasn't a huge amount, but it must have been about the size of, say, I don't know, a quarter of a tennis court, no, a badminton court, half of a badminton, a bit more than that, half of a badminton court, maybe 3/4. It's hard to tell from the photograph. But I said to Damien, I said, oh, you got all that rice there, so I hope you don't think I'm being nosy. And if you do think I'm being nosy, tell me to bog off, basically. And I said, what would the net profit be on that particular harvest of rice? Now, bearing in mind, you get the one harvest per year. So, whatever the farmer gets off that land, that's his income for the year. And I said to Damien, if you don't mind me asking, what would your profit be? And his answer to me was, well, don't laugh, but it's 25,000 baht. So what's that? 4, 8, 12, 6, 20, about £500 for the year. So you can understand why they're they're quite broke, quite a low income, the farmers. It's quite interesting. And he showed me, I'd actually said to him, I said, do you have much of a problem with rodents? Because you've got all this rice laid out, it's a hot country. I'm thinking they must get rats and mice and all sorts attacking the rice. But apparently there's a lot of snakes up there, dogs and cats and everything. He didn't seem to have too much of a problem. But his partner's brother was holding up this huge snake. Horrible. Right, who else is with us today? Hi to Matthew Brossieu. I better pronounce that wrong. From Canada, but hi anyway. Seamus Doherty. Hi, Seamus. Darren Drew. Great. Pinball, hi. Right, everybody's saying this sounds good. That's really good. I don't think we'll have that bad sound again. The thing is, when you do a live stream and you know something's wrong and you can't correct it, you try and plod on, you try and carry on as best as you can, but it just puts you off. You know, it's like trying to have a game of soccer with a half-inflated ball. You know, it doesn't work, does it? Netsin, did you forget to plug it in? No, I didn't. It was just a setting which I've now rectified. Bottle Baby looks sexy too. Paul Conlan, Budweiser here. Yeah, I like Budweiser. 5% Budweiser. It's got that woody taste, hasn't it? Right, Lee Hughes. I thought the rice crop in Thailand was 3 times a year. I honestly don't know, Lee. I just, maybe I read his email wrong. I thought it was once a year. If it's 3 times a year, then that's 75,000 baht, presuming it is 3 times a year. But I don't know. I'm not a Thai farmer. D-Rock 7977. Hi to you. Christian Stainer, hi. Greetings from the UK. Hi from San Francisco. Okay, I think I've said hi to everybody, have I? Christopher Doyle, 5 times 5. I don't know what that means. Right, I see a lot of bloggers are going. This is from Matthew Olcott. I see a lot of bloggers are going to Pattaya to pay homage to Kevin, and it's a nice touch thing. The guy who does 20 seconds in Thailand is going. Do you know what? I haven't seen that. I haven't come across that. I know. Obviously, was spoken about Kevin on a totally different subject. I'd watched. I watched. Let me just get rid of this ticker. It's getting annoying now. That's it. I watched Buzzin Patty's latest video. The one where he was walking. I don't know if you watched it. But he was walking up Soy 6, and he just walked up, and he had his camera out, and he was just explaining what's going on in Soy 6. But obviously, you know, if you point a camera at certain girls, they don't like it for obvious reasons. And in that video, he'd actually said one of the Mama Sans, when he pointed his video at the bar, she was eating, and she actually took the food out of her mouth and threw it at him, or she spat it at him. And you know, my first thoughts, well, that was a very nice thing to do. But then I'm kind of on the fence. You know, it's you know, he does what he does. He's got a good channel and everything, but you're kind of playing with fire when you put, you know what I'm trying to say. I won't delve into it too much. But anyway, it was quite a good video because he walked up the entire length of Soy 6, and it looked like you could have a good night out there. It wasn't, all the bars seemed to be open. Most of the bars were open. The girls were there, but it was just such a lacking in customers. I don't know how they're surviving. You haven't got hardly any tourists there at all. And as he walked up, I don't know what time of night it was. I think he said 7, so it's probably still a bit early. But the street, it was open. There was something happening. Right, Damien, let's just clarifying that point on the rice. Is once between October and November for the rice farm. Okay, that's Damien. I'm not saying it's all rice farmers. That's what Damon's saying. Hi, Jan in Amsterdam. Mike, hi, buddy. Good stories today. Yeah, did you like the stories today? The 3 stories. I thought the first one, the guy who was with Noi. I had somebody write to me a comment, and they left a comment on that story, and they said, oh, he was a really stupid guy. You know, Noi wanted to spend the night with him, and he couldn't take a hint, and she'll go off with somebody else. And I thought, a bit ignorant, really. I mean, if you think about it, the guy, he's a lawyer in, was it Canada or America? I mean, how can he be stupid and a lawyer? All right, the jokes will start coming in now. But the guy was shown, Noi, she wasn't a bar girl. He was shown respect. She came back and settled him in the hotel. And he didn't presume, he didn't try to make a move. He thanked her, said goodnight to her, had a hug, and he met up with her the next day for breakfast. And the guy who wrote the comment, he just kind of said, oh, he's stupid because he didn't bed her there and then, and, all people are different. What about the German guy at the end? He's only 26. I mean, I felt for the guy. When I was reading the story, I felt for him. I mean, and he went back the next day he went back to Thailand? If you didn't watch them stories, there was a guy, a German guy, a young guy. He'd lost his passport in Germany. Then he found it again. He called up he'd reported it lost. And apparently once you report it lost, it's stolen, reported it to the police. But then he found it again, called them. They were like, yep, that's okay. That's fine. We've cleared your passport. Everything's okay. He got to Helsinki. And then they said, oh, they won't have these databases in Thailand. He got to Thailand, and of course they do have all the databases, and they put him on a plane and sent him home again. But to be fair to him, he went again the next day. But tragic. Right, Craig H, I've got a story for you. You just need to find the time to write it down. Yeah. Shin Rana, where are the Billy Bob teeth? No, it's Billy Bob teeth. I've got them here actually. Yeah, there they are. Ugliest things you've ever seen. Look at them. Yeah, I'll explain that in a minute. CB Media was vlogging from Pattaya tonight. You got a mention on the latest buzzing video, and Jerry gave you a mention. Jerry? Who's Jerry? But I haven't seen that on. I hope it wasn't derogatory. I hope it was a good mention. Is Jerry the guy who runs it? I thought his name was Trevor. Somebody told me it was Trevor. Daniel Mills, glad the mic is fixed this week. Yeah, me and you both. Okay, Bottle Baby, don't always have to be a bad girl. Lee Hughes, yes, I felt sorry for the German guy. Matthew, some people are saying Pattaya has never been so good time to visit. I prefer when a lot of people are there. Better atmosphere. Yeah, that's what I thought was missing last night. Although it was only 7 o'clock and all the bars were open, it just doesn't feel the same. You know, when you're in Pattaya, you go to a party, don't you? Unless you live there, and then you sort of party sometimes, I guess. But it just looked kind of, it was kind of sad, you know. I mean, it was like it was like somebody sitting in a car ready to go, and there was no road in front of them. You know, let's hope it. I did read something today about the. Let me see if I can find this. Got a few good stories for you today, but I've tried to keep them really short. Okay, so here's a couple of bits because you're always asking when can we go back to Thailand. So here's a couple of bits I just printed out today. They're really short. I'll read them out to you just as I, as I come across them. So the title to this one is called "Traveling to Thailand." Finding information about traveling to Thailand at this time can be a bit confusing. Suddenly, there's a lot more paperwork, and the Thai government keep updating the situation. But the good news that the Thai government have at least put out a 4-part plan to totally reopen the country by the end of 2021, start of 2022. You also need to work through the individual embassies and staff who may sometimes have different interpretations of the latest guidelines. But everyone is trying their best to help you get back to Thailand, so your patience will be rewarded. That's what that one says. And then just a little follow-up one here. It says, Thailand's forfeit. This is not an April Fool's joke. This is how it reads. Thailand has set a tentative 4-phase plan starting on April the 1st for reopening the borders, lifting restrictions and relaxing quarantine periods, allowing international travel to recommence in a safe manner. As always, this is currently a plan and has not been confirmed by the Thai government at this stage. So it seems, you know, I mean, nothing's set in stone again, guys. I mean, it seems like it's still, they're still not sure what they're doing. And now, you know, they were talking about October fully opening, but reading this, they're sort of saying end of the year to beginning of next year. So, you know, watch this space, you know, how much longer? Right, Lee Hughes. Buzzin' Jerry is the guy on Trevor's channel who has been in ASQ. Okay, did he say anything nice about me? Or was it derogatory? I'll have a look later, maybe tomorrow. What else are people saying? The party will only start back in 2022. Yeah, and what will it be like in Pattaya? What will it be like? You know, I mean, with walking street and everything, digging up the street. Love music. Good evening from Germany. Yeah, hi. Right, Paras in the Philippines. Trevor rums it. Yeah, I'm always singing his praises. He's good. I'll tell you what, though, guys. I've got something for you tonight, but I'm not going to tell you about it now. I'm going to tease you a little bit. I've come across a channel, and honestly, guys, this channel, it's a Thailand channel. The guy is out there. It is so underrated. It is such a good channel. The guy's only got 15,000 subscribers. I can't understand it. I was looking at it. I thought I was reading it wrong. But this guy, I'll tell you a little bit more about him later. But he's out there. You know, he does the history of all these different locations. I'll tell you towards the end, and I'll give you a bit more detail. But honestly, I would put this guy's channel in the top 10, if not the top 5 of YouTubers in Bangkok or Thailand. I mean, it is that good. I'm subscribed to it myself. It's very, very good. Some good videos. I'll tell you about it later on. Right, who else we got? Poi Hoi, lawyer of labourer. If a Thai bird's offering it on a plate, then fill your boots. Okay. But was she offering it on a plate? I don't know. She said she was, didn't she? Nino, hi Peter. Can you get the visa on arrival again from July 1st if you fly to Phuket? Oh, hang on, where are you? I've lost you. Phuket, or will you need to go through the embassy to get there? Do you know what, Nino? Because I can't go at the moment, I honestly, yeah, hi Matthew, cheers. I honestly don't know because like everybody else, you know, I'm in the UK. What I used to do, I never used to worry about visas. I used to jump on a plane, I'd get off at the other end, through the airport, bang, 30-day tourist visa. And if I wanted to stay longer, Jorge and I used to nip into Blueport. I paid about 1,800 baht, no queue there. Bang, another 30 days. So I've got 60 days tourist visa. Everything's changing now, is it? I've never done border runs and things like that. I used to use agents to get my long-term visas. When I lived in Thailand, I always used agents. You know, some people agree with them, some people don't. Let's not get into the whole agent thing. But in answer to your question, I really don't know. There's so many changes, and until it opens up and we all go back there, we're not really going to know. And I think even if you called the Thai embassy and asked them, and you got an answer, a definite answer, which I very much doubt you would, I think if you phone one embassy in one country and another Thai embassy in another country, I think you'd get two different answers because they're not sure themselves, are they? Jeff Ives, Chocolate Man in Thailand. Yeah, good channel. Right, Franco, Franco's given me a super chat. Thank you, Franco. What that's going to enable me to do, that will pay for the Cronenbergs. So thanks a lot for that. Franco, and he lives around the corner from me, actually. He was, you were in the chat in the midweek chat, weren't you? Sebastian Bars, yeah, thanks, Franco, for that, by the way. I do appreciate it. Right, Sebastian, bars seem to make good money on live streams. Watch the buzzing clip with Jerry. I always watch Buzz in Pattaya. I always watch it because it's interesting. And the guy I'm going to tell you about later, he's got a great channel. Right. Right, Marco Polo, from 1st of July depends 70% of Phuket people. Right, I'm going to try not to talk tonight about the Big C because I haven't been penalized, but YouTube really don't want it because I'm monetized now. I've got adverts coming on my channel, and if you can imagine, their advertisers, they don't want to put their adverts on you know, videos. These live chats get kept and they're stored, and people can watch them later as videos, and YouTube don't any mention of it or any of the words that go with it. You know, they're very reluctant to put advertising on it. So I really want to try and stay away. I will talk about it if I have to, but I'll use coded words, same as Ed Sweeney does and most other people. But I'm going to try and steer away from it because it's very depressing. In the UK, we're really doing well on the... I'm getting into it now. Forget it. We'll talk about something else. Right, let's see who else is here. Hi, Tom. Yeah, thank you. Paris in the Philippines. Vietnam Airways started international flights, okay, for the passengers who have had that. Yeah, I did read today. I didn't print it out because I didn't want to get into this thing in a big way, because once I start talking about it, all the questions come flooding in and all the chat goes that way, and I want to try and get away from the Big C. But there was something today about Phuket. You can go and have a look at the news channels out there. It's all out there. All I do when I read these little stories out to you, I'm not giving you something that's unobtainable for yourselves. You can all go out there and get it. But I spend a little time in the afternoon on Saturdays going through it. And if there's any kind of quirky stories, I'll save them. And I have got a couple here, which are I've got some horror story. I've got a horror story tonight, and I've got a very nice story after. Very short snippets, but it's all out there for you guys to go and have a look at yourselves. Daniel Mills. It amazes me that people will bar fine over the YouTube. I think the reason they do it, I'm sure everybody knows what a bar fine is, don't you? If you don't, you go into a bar and you sit with a lady that takes your interest. You quite like her company. If you'd like to take her out of that bar for, say, go for dinner or something like that, then you need to compensate the bar for her time. Away from that bar, and you need to pay the bar some money, normally 300 to 500 baht, something like that, and that's a bar fine. So, in answer to your question, let me just that was Daniel Mills. Amazes me that people will bar fine over YouTube. I think what it is, Daniel, there are some really nice guys out there. And I think they have a genuine, I was trying to think of the right word, compassion. They feel kind of sorry for these girls, because they do what they do. We always say, they work in bars, and there's two ways of looking at it, but they're looking after their families, aren't they? I mean, if they do it in the UK, they're normally drug addicts, or they've got some mental issues, but it's families, isn't it? And like that first story today, Noi, she had to support eight family members, and none of the kids were hers. Her sister abandoned them, and she was left holding the baby, as it were. But I think the reason, in answer to your question, I think and this is just my personal opinion, I think the reason that people do this bar finding over the internet, I think they just want to give the girls some money and help them out. That's all it is, really. And it's a nice way of helping them out without actually just sort of giving it for nothing, isn't it? Okay, who's just given me that beer? Stephen Wainwright, thank you very much. I've just got that come through. And while I'm at it, I'm going to say thanks to a couple of other guys who bought me a beer in the week. Scott Baran, I don't know if you're watching this live stream, you might look at it later. And David Carouse, a very generous guy. He often donates to the channel. So thanks to all three of you. Okay. Right, Sam Rogers, my favorite Thailand channel will always be Steph Traveller. Again, another one I haven't seen. Nobody showed the rawness and sometimes even depressing mood of Pattaya better than Steph. The great thing about having a lot of YouTubers in Thailand, you could look at it and say, well, there's too many now. They're getting boring. You've got the big channels out there. You know who they are. And you've got guys in Pattaya, guys based in Hua Hin, couples based in Khon Kaen, wherever it is. But, you'll go through all these channels. There's probably, God knows how many. I'd love to know how many. There's got to be 100 channels. And you'll go through them and you'll find those odd channels. And you think, yeah, I like this guy. I like what he's talking about. Like Buzzin' Pattaya. If you're a party animal that goes to Pattaya, you're going to love Buzzin' Pattaya, aren't you? If you're a guy who goes to Hua Hin, you're going to look at couples who are in Hua Hin and they do the tours and go on motorcycles and stuff like that. I don't know why anybody watches me, because I'm stuck in the UK. I suppose you like these stories, I guess. Hi to Chris Phillips. Flight direct Thai, always Phuket direct May 7th. No, okay, I don't want to say that word from. Oh yeah, I'll put it up on the screen, then I don't have to say it. There you go. A very handsome Chris Phillips there for you guys. Right. Stephen Gale, Johnny, there is something happening in Thailand. Video also good from Cha'am. From Cha'an to Dolphin Bay with Hua Hin in the middle. Beautiful coastline. No wonder you want to retire there. Yeah, I mean, Johnny's channel is good. We mentioned him last week. I mentioned about 10 channels last week, but the problem is when I mentioned them, a lot of people went off and went to watch them. So I've got to be careful on that one. Did you see Johnny's video where he had a girl in a maid's outfit cooking dinner, and he's talking about chicken breast, and it was a bit yeah, anyway, let's move on. Hugo Jazz, thank you very much for that. That's another super chat there, €5 towards another Cronenberg, and my thanks for all the great stories. Yeah, Hugo, thanks, I appreciate that, and I have got a couple lined up for tonight. So thanks again for that super chat. Love of Madness, dang, look at the mutton chop. That's gone above me there. Right, D Rock 7977. We are not suckers. It's not. I've lost you. We've moved up. Hang on. Where are we? There we are. D Rock 7977. I've done quite a lot of live stream, guys. I do it because they provide entertainment and helping them out so that bars can be open when we all come back. ASQ. Good point. We are not. And he also goes on to say we are not suckers. It's not bar fine, just buying drinks, flowers, belt, ring the bell, etc. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. It's like I said to you, it's helping them out, isn't it? Because they don't really have a welfare system over there, do they? And they've all got dependents. So, to the guys who buy them drinks online and stuff, it's not my sort of thing. I find it a bit boring. But I wouldn't kind of knock anybody for watching it and ringing the bell, the virtual bell or whatever it is. Okay, Greg, love the story about the girl in the back room of 7-Eleven. Yeah, I mean, they're clever, aren't they? Or devious, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, Peter Claydon, I find CB Media possibly the best channel in Thailand. Well, you're probably right, because he's got close to 300,000 subscribers. I'm guessing he's making a lot of money. I watched one of his videos last week where he was at a kind of motorbike race thing, and he was balancing on this ledge about that wide, and if he'd gone that way, he would have gone a couple of 100 feet down. But it was entertaining. But the problem for me is I don't have a lot of time to watch other YouTubers, because I'm always on here trying to prepare stuff for the weekend and everything. Damien was checking flight price today, London to Bangkok direct, crazy prices nearly twice as much. Yeah, it's funny you should mention that. They brought out in the UK today. They said that they've added 4 countries to which they how do you class them, like red zones, and one of them was Pakistan. And I know a guy who WhatsApped me. He works in where I am, and they've said to him, they basically said in the newspaper today, in the papers online, in 7 days' time, they're going to. I don't know what they're going to have to do, but they put them on some kind of a red list. They're going to have to do an extra long quarantine, something like that. And I WhatsApped him and said, "Did you hear about this? Do you know about this? You need to get back within 7 days, else you'll be stuck." And he told me today an economy ticket from Pakistan to the UK, which is normally about anywhere between 400 and 600 quid, depending on pounds, depending on the time of the year, 700-800 US dollars. And that isn't direct. That's stopping off somewhere in Europe. Then it comes on to London. He told me today it's so difficult to get a flight. The cheapest ticket he could find, if that flight's going to be available, is £5,000. So I don't know what the poor guy's going to do. But yeah, it's serious. Right, Paris in the Philippines. Retired working for you and CB Media are the he's. I don't know what you mean by the he's. Do you mean the best? I don't think, to be fair, I don't think anybody who does YouTube channels, I don't think anybody's in a competition. I mean, they are very, very popular. They're both based in Thailand, aren't they? They're both obviously very, very good at editing. They'll be looking at the camera and then it comes in, they cut in this. So they're very good at editing. They make very, very interesting content. So they take it so seriously that they're really probably living off it. They're making a living from it. That's what they do. I'm not knocking them for that. But for me, even though I've just monetized, I went 18 months without having any adverts on my channel. It is a hobby. I enjoy it. If you get new subscribers, it's nice. I love doing this live stream now and talking to you guys. It's a good opportunity to get feedback. But I'm not in competition with anybody. If somebody says CB Media's got 300,000, good luck to the guy. Honestly, really, genuinely, good luck to him. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm not in a competition. If people want to watch, great, welcome. If you don't, what can I do? I can only do the best with what I've got. And something else I wanted to mention, Simon, my, I don't want to say partner, it almost sounds like, the Simon, my friend who lives in Bangkok, not Simon Landers Smiles, that's a different Simon, but my friend, I've teamed up with him now on here, and his schedule's really kind of vague because he's got his container factory in Bangkok, so we can never set, a time that we can say, right, every Wednesday at this time we're going to do a live stream together, because there's 6 hours difference, and in the winter there's 7 hours difference. And but we do talk quite often, and we use Zoom and everything. And this week we did I was going to tell you about the Billy Bob teeth, wouldn't I? I'll get them out in a second so I don't forget. This week we did an unscheduled live stream. We only did it for an hour, but it was quite nice. And it just so happened it was I think it was afternoon. It came across in the UK in the afternoon, and I didn't really want to do it. And he was like, "Come on," and I was like, "No, I don't want to do it. People won't be watching it, and there won't be anybody. We're lucky to get 2 people in. We haven't advertised it and all the rest of it." And he was like, "Come on, let's just do it." And I thought, "Oh, okay, all right." He wants to do a live stream, so we went on, and believe it or not, guys, we actually had over 100 people in the stream. It was unadvertised, and it was really good because we were kind of bouncing off each other, and we were joking, and we were talking about old experience. There was nothing serious in it, and I said to him today, I said, "Simon, look, we've got to do a few of these. We just won't advertise them. We won't schedule them. We'll just do one now and again. And if people are there, they're there." And yeah, and that's where the Billy Bob teeth story came out. I don't really want to tell the story again. Basically, it's these teeth, they're ugly things. Look, you buy them on a website in America called Billy Bob. They've got all these different designs, and you stick them in, and you walk up to the girls in mouth closed, shake their hands, and big smile, and it's anyway. Right, Dave in Thailand. I am heading back to Thailand in July, but being told I had to wait 14 days after second vaccine. Is that correct? Who knows? I mean, I don't really delve into it deeply because I'm not planning to go back myself, but I think I read somewhere it was 7 days now. They'd reduced it. I think they're getting a little bit panicky now, because they are losing a lot of money. And believe it or not, the baht is actually slipping, which brings me... I haven't done the we've got 172 in the stream now, so let me do the what do you call it, what you'll get for the baht for your currency at the moment. Now they've all gone up. The baht slipped slightly. Now the pound is last week it was at 42 baht and 79 satang, which not so bad. But this week it's actually up to 43 baht and 28 baht. So are we going to see the big 50 one day? Who knows? Watch this space. But all the currencies are up on the baht this week. So like I say, UK pound 43 baht 28 satang. US dollar last week was 30 US dollars and 85 30 US dollars 85 cents. Today it's gone up. It's $31.29. Canadian dollar last week was 24.81. This week it's 24.88. So again, that one's up. The Australian dollar last week was 23.74, and this week it's 23.79. So although it's very small, it has gone up, hasn't it? And the euro, that was 36.86 last week, and this week it's 36.79. So the baht is taking a bit of a hit at the moment. Oh, very thirsty tonight. Can't wait to tuck into these Kronenbergs. Okay, look, this is really short. I printed this off while we're on the subject of the Thai baht. The title of this, it says, Thai baht was the worst performing in the first quarter of 2021. This week, the baht hit its lowest point in half a year, falling 4% against the US dollar to 31.24, slightly up now on that. The decline was the sharpest in all of Southeast Asian nations, mostly due to the effect of tourism in Thailand. So there you go. It's obviously it is having a bit of an impact now, isn't it? It's got to do. I mean, you think when we go, you think somebody told me last week that Thailand, Bangkok is the most visited city in the world, and all them foreign currencies coming in, spending on everything from hotels to food to everything. I mean, that's gone, hasn't it? It's gone. I mean, the people who live there, the expats, they don't spend like tourists spend. You know, we're millionaires for 2 weeks. You're splashing the cash, as they say. But if you live there, you have to watch your budget. Right. Good evening. If you just joined us, let's have a look. What's Chris saying? Red list country. Ah, that's it. Red list countries. That's what I was. That's what I couldn't remember. Right, Chris. Red list countries included today are the Philippines, Pakistan, Kenya, Bangladesh to UK. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that, Chris. Didi, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Are you Thai? Didi? Little picture there. I can't make out. What do you think? Is Didi Thai? Can you see a picture there? It'd be great to have a Thai on the channel. That's all. What else we got now? I wish someone would give me 1,000 baht by fluttering my eyelids. Yeah, but come on. Costas Screw, is it? Hi from Athens, Greece. Hi to you. Maz, I haven't heard much about the Pattaya Flying Club recently, which is a good thing. Well, there's nobody going there, is there? The people who are in Pattaya now live there. ABC Dev, hi Peter, I've been to Pattaya a few times. In your own experience, Peter, would you say Pattaya is a dangerous place for general information crime? Is Wuhan much safer from any sort of crime? You know what, I'd say don't get hung up on crime anywhere in Thailand. Like everywhere else, they got the odd scam. Tuk-tuk drivers will try to charge you 3 times what they charge a Thai. Taxi drivers will refuse to put the meter on, but there's thousands of taxis in Bangkok. You're just getting another one, and if he doesn't put his meter on, you get on the other one. You'll get the gemstone scam. You know, girls in the bars will try and scam you. They'll try and scam you on drinks, but it's not. It sounds like, oh my God, I can't relax there because they're going to be scamming me all the time. It's not like that. So the Thais are lovely people. It's a great country. It's it's got such a lot to offer. I wouldn't want to go anywhere else now. You just got to keep your senses about you. It's not dangerous. You're not going to get hit on the head with a brick or something like that. Nobody's going to pull a gun on. I mean, you do get big crimes. It does happen occasionally. So I mean, I don't want somebody leaving a comment saying, "Oh, somebody got murdered last week." Yeah, of course it happens, but millions of visitors visit Thailand every year and come back and they've had a good time. Nothing happens to them. Don't get hung up on it, honestly. Yusuf, hi from South Africa. Hi, Yusuf. Thanks for joining us. Right. Level of madness. Peter Clayton, I agree. CB Media has a charisma and the gift of the gab. Also knowledgeable of subject and comment of car. Yeah, he does a lot of car stuff. I've been told he's into his cars. There's a blast from the past. Daniel Mills. Archie Luxury. How do you like that for a name? I remember him actually. Archery Luxury used to do some brilliant videos in Thailand. Do you know why he stopped? Archie Luxury. That was his YouTube name, Archie Luxury. And he had a channel. I won't get into it too deeply, but he had not a bad channel. It was quite entertaining. He was quite what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? He was very cavalier in his attitude. He went out and made all these silly videos, and but the reason he stopped his channel, he got slated so much. I don't know why. Some people didn't take to him, and they used to send him a lot of comments and bad shit. And in the end, he just thought, what's the point? What's the point? And he packed it in. So, but I do remember him. Okay, I'm just going through these comments. I don't want to miss anybody. Taxi to Lao. Hiya. I enjoyed the off-the-cuff live stream. Got me out of work for a while. It was a lot of fun. Shall I put these Billy Bob teeth away now? Ugly things. I've had them for 20 years. Even I get scammed sometimes. I thought they were advertising you could buy a £5 coin, and they said it was a real £5. It is a real £5 coin, but it's never going to come into currency. Look, there it is there. Believe it or not, I can't remember what I paid for it, but that is you can't see it. That's a £5 coin. I bought it a few years ago. I mean, it's genuine. It's from one of these. Anyway, I think it cost me a tenner. There we go. Right. Nazim, Dave in Thailand, would you? Okay. Greg agreed. It was really a fun stream of the teeth. Popular tonight. What's going on here? I shouldn't be answering these really on a live stream, but I'm one of those guys. If I'm eating, I look. Okay. Jeff Ives, Dave in Thailand. If you're having a sec, okay, you are. Yeah, okay. I don't want to talk about that tonight. Paul Hoskin, those teeth. Now I know why the girls don't want to go with me. It's really weird. When I used to go out, it might seem quite childish, like I said in the last stream, but the Thais have got this really sort of weird sense of humor. Like I said in that live stream, you can tell them, if you spoke fluent Thai and you told them the funniest joke in the world, they might not like it, but if they see somebody fall out of a wheelchair, they can't stop laughing. And I used to put these teeth in and go to the Marina Disco and shake hands with the girls. They're like, because they look so real. But you'd get two reactions. Half of it would be terror. They didn't want to go near you, and the other half kind of felt sorry for you, because they do have guys in their villages who have teeth like that, and they'd be like, like Digital Crab, there is always someone somewhere. Yeah. Taxi to Lao, keep those daytime live streams coming, especially when the weather's good and I can sit and listen in my garden. It's down to Simon, really. As I say, I'm trying to get him to upload more videos, because YouTube is about content, isn't it? And he's uploaded a few good ones now. They're quite short, but I don't mind that, as long as something's going up, because I'm planning to make a video next week. I don't know how long it'll take me, but it's going to be something totally different. I'm going to go out of my house and I'm going to film something local to me. And as I've got some older people in this channel, I don't cater to too young guys, like you're not 20-year-olds. But I'm hoping what I'm planning doesn't backfire. I'm hoping a lot of guys are going to watch it and think, yeah, that was good. But I'll tell you more about that later on. Let me say hello to Ralph in Pattaya. Ralph's got a channel. There's not too much on it at the moment. It's called The Tiger. He hasn't got hardly anything on it, but he's an American. He's just decided to head out to Pattaya. I mentioned him last week. I forgot to mention his channel, but he's planning to make some good videos down in Pattaya. So whether he'll be another buzzing Pattaya, we'll have to wait and see. Sorry, something just caught my eye there. Yeah, so hi to him, and I hope he does well. He was in the trapped in his hotel room, and I hope he's out now, or he's only got a couple of days. So if you watch this, Ralph, you won't be watching it now because it's the middle of the night in Thailand, but if you watch it tomorrow, Sunday, then all the best, mate. I hope you're clear now. Right, Bob Casti, I think this might be a little bit of a compliment. I hope I've only read half of it. Right, Bob Casti, you will never catch Thailand-Bound saying anything negative about a Thai, and if I live in Thailand, neither would I. We are guests. Exactly. I wouldn't, I'll talk in a general way, like I just said about the Thai sense of humor, but I wouldn't, normally there are YouTube guys on YouTube. I can't stand them, I watch them and I think, God, but I just won't mention them. I won't talk about them. This guy I'm going to tell you about later. If you've just joined us in the stream, we've got nearly 200 now. Welcome if you just joined. And I was saying earlier on, I've discovered a YouTube channel, a guy in Thailand, and he's so underrated. He really is, guy. It's not like he's my best friend and I'm trying to give him a plug. And, you know, he's a nice guy. We've actually been exchanging emails. He's come across as a nice guy. I think he originally went out to, well, I know he originally went out to Bangkok as a disc jockey, a DJ. And I think he's done some teaching now. And this guy's videos, they're really, really good. And, you know, I think he's so underrated. I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later on. Right, Chris Phillips, hi. Phuket tourists free travel from July. Only Phuket. They're going to open Phuket as a test. Yeah, that's fine, Chris. But what happens when you get back to the UK? I always get a really itchy nose when I'm doing a stream. I shouldn't touch my nose really, but it just gets worse and worse and worse. Can't stand it in the end. I've got to, you know, get a spade and dig it out. Gary Russell. Hi, Peter. Yeah, hi, Gary. But we can't get away from this subject of the teeth now. But Bottle Baby, I left the village because everyone has those teeth. I don't think everyone's got them, have they? Okay. Some of you are having private conversations again here, so I'm not reading them out. Levels of madness. Bob Castillo. I talk crap about crappy people. I am an equal opportunity slander as long as the shoe fits. Okay. Yeah, Paul Hoskin. The wetsuit will protect me from the cold water. Okay, time for another little snippet of news. I think that I've printed out today. We've been on, how long we've been on? 45 minutes, 194 in the stream. Hi to everyone. Okay, so let me give you a horror story first, very short one, and then I'll tell you a little nice one to kind of even it off. So a yin and yang, as it were. Right. So this is this. Yeah, I never, you know, all the years I've been going to Thailand, it never fails to amaze me some of the stories that come out of there. But anyway, here we go. The title of this one is "Court Sentences Thailand's Jack the Ripper to Death." I mean, it doesn't. I mean, if that doesn't pull you, and if you read the title like that and you don't read the story, then nothing's going to interest you, is it? The convicted serial killer known as Jack the Ripper in Thailand has been sentenced to death. The Khon court in the Isan province announced its decision today, sentencing convicted murderer Somkid Puyang, I bet I've said that wrong, to death. In 2005, Somkid was convicted of murdering 5 women, including a singer and 4 masseurs. He sexually assaulted the women before killing them, either by strangling or drowning them and running off with their valuables. Charming character. But there you go. That's Thailand's Jack the Ripper. And to even it off, right, because that's not a very nice story. Let's a nice one. This is a nice story. So there was a young couple. They're in Chonburi. Where does it say exactly where they were? Okay, they're in Chonburi. That's the, you know, near Pattaya, the province down there. And this young couple, they're only I didn't print out their ages. They're pretty young. They're about 28 and 30, something like 30, 32. They're not, you know, anyway, because of what's happening with all this, what's going on, they both lost their jobs. They're really struggling for money. They had to borrow a little bit of money from the local loan shark. He was coming around and hassling them, and they were really in the crapper, to be honest with you. They weren't in a good way. And now this story is about them. So keep that in mind, what I've just told you. The title of this one is Young Chonburi Couple in debt win 12 million baht in the lottery. I mean, that's great, isn't it? So a young couple in Chonburi who say they are in debt has won 12 million baht in the Thai National Lottery. The couple won the first prize yesterday, which is equivalent to US dollars 360,000. So that'll be about, I don't know what, just under 400,000, something like that. But that's great, isn't it? So good luck to them. They're not going to have to worry about lending money again, are they? Okay, right. Is it time for a beer yet? What time is it? Another 6 minutes. Right. Right, pinball. The Phuket test in July will not happen. They will not get the island residents by then. Okay. I don't know. I'm reading conflicting stories. If you've just joined us, like I said at the beginning, the original plan was to open in, they were saying fully open in October, and I was kind of quietly sort of planning my tickets for sort of October, November, and it might not happen now, mightn't it? The thing is, for me, I mean, even if we could go back in November, they said, oh, but there's this restriction, you have to do that, and there's that restriction, and I'm not interested. I'm really not interested. I kind of got used to what's happening in the UK at the moment. I kind of made myself busy. I've got a little part-time job. I just try. I've got some hobbies that I do, and I just try to keep myself busy. And I kind of a year and a half ago, I was like, oh, when can I get back? When can I get back? I couldn't stand it. But now I've kind of got the mindset that I'm actually used to it, and I kind of put it out of my head now. I've still read the news about Thailand. I still watch. I like listening to the Thai music videos on YouTube. You know, the real nice Thai songs. I like that. I have them on in the background if I'm doing something in the house. And I've kind of just said to myself, you know, don't try to rush it because you can't. And I'm just getting on with life. It's spring now, isn't it? It's April now. And it won't be long now till we get those late evenings and we get some nice weather. But saying that, we've got an Arctic wind coming on Monday. It's going to be, I think I read it was -2 or something like that. So that's the sunshine after the rain, as they say. All right. Del Boy, hi. Is it possible to put on CC, I am deaf? I would love to know what you are talking about. I actually go through some software. There's no point in explaining it to the guy because he's deaf and he's not going to hear me. He said he can't. Let me just say hi to him. If I can copy his name, I don't think I can copy his name. Deb Boy. Let me just put that on because if he's deaf, I mean, God's sake, poor bloke. I know, not just giving it away there. Did you see that? Right. Right, let's say hi to him. Right, so he can't hear a word I'm saying. So if you think your life is bad at the moment, think of this poor guy. He's watching me rattle on. He's thinking, I wonder what he's talking about. You know, so give him a thumbs up, say hi, and hopefully that's made his night. I wish I could explain to him that I can't because I'm going through some software, but hopefully that's anyway. Okay, I've done that. That's my good deed for the day. Okay, who we got now? Is that Black Bolt joined us? Yeah, it is. Hi, Black Bolt. How you doing? That's a dapper of a picture you got there, Black Bolt, with the old Trilby hat. That's not you, is it? Right, Paul Hoss. Did you see another channel I watched, which wasn't, I mean, I watched a few of his videos because they're kind of relaxing. It's called something like Bangkok Walks or Thailand Walks, and all the channels about the guy goes for a walk and he films it. I mean, you're probably thinking how boring is that, but it's actually quite a nice channel because he cuts through places you probably haven't seen before, and he'll walk from one part of Bangkok to another part of Bangkok, and there's a bit of music on the background. Quite okay. Gary Russell, I'm looking at 2023 to go to Thailand. Oh my God, 2023, that's a long way off. Right, David G, in my head, I'm thinking of going over 4th of Jan for 3 weeks, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. I think that's the word we need to hang on to. Pinball, yeah, thank you. Taxi to Lao, cheers. BB damn cheap. Right, love music. Peter, your thoughts about the elite program? My first thought is I'll never be on it because it's quite expensive, isn't it? What is it, about $16,000 US? If you haven't heard of the elite program, I'm not going to risk people writing back to me and saying, "Oh no, that's not right." I'll just say they've got a category of visa called the elite, and you know, you get little things to put on your suitcase and a little pin. You get preferential treatment. It's easier to get visas and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, if I had the money, I'd get one because it's an advantage, isn't it? Plenty of people got it. I'm a budget hotel guy. You know, I do live up in Thailand, but I'm not like I don't stay at the Marriott. Put it that way. If I had the money to stay in places like the Marriott and money wasn't an issue, and I had a couple of companies like bring me in hundreds of thousands of pounds every month, then yeah, of course I would get it because it's advantage, isn't it? Right, Damien, what's your plans when you get back to Thailand, Bangkok, and Hue in a little? Yeah, I mean, a year ago, if you'd have asked me that question, I'd have said I'll spend 2 days in Bangkok and then I'm going down to Hue Hin for a week or so like that. But I really need to. What little hair I've got left, I'm losing it here. Look, I need to let it down. And I think the first trip back, I think what I'm going to do, I normally, because of school holidays and stuff, I can only go during the school holidays. I'm not a teacher, but I've got a little job that I work with the councils and stuff. And I think, really thinking about it, like I say, a year ago, I would have said, well, I'm going back to Hua Hin because I hang out there now. And I think now, when I go back, I think I'm going to do sort of 2-3 days in Bangkok, and it'll be like first night Nana, second night Cowboy, third night Pat Pong. You know, people are going to write to me now and just say, there's more to Thailand. I know there is. I live there. And then I'll probably go down to Phuket. Not Phuket. I wouldn't go to Phuket. It's expensive. I'll go down to Pattaya, and I'll probably stay in Pattaya for a week and just, you know, hang out there. I mean, just soak in that vibe again, you know, that Pattaya vibe. Walking Street, because I'm getting on a bit now, I find Walking Street is a bit, the bars along Walking Street are kind of bit heavy. Maybe that's the wrong word. I like the open kind of bars where you can play the Connect Four with the girls and the bricks, you know, and they tell you all the bullshit that they tell you, you know, and, you know, I like listening to it, and I like them sort of bars. And I think when I go back down, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang out in, you know, those clusters. If you go in, you know, when just before Walking Street on the right, you've got the Pattaya Beer Garden, you've got all them cluster of bars there. You walk by and it's like a hen house, you know, when you walk into Walking Street. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go anywhere quiet and put my feet up, not after a year and a half or 2 years, whatever it is. Right, Paul Hoy. I better pronounce that wrong. Sorry, Paul, if I have. Flights are cheap up to March 2022. Well, that's a double-bladed sword, because I'm hearing the other thing. Some people say it is, some people say it's more expensive, but I'll take your word for it. Right, Chris Phillips. Hi, Peter. I was led to believe that Brits fully jabbed will be able to have summer holidays on the traffic light system to be announced. That's from our end, though, isn't it, Chris? I mean, I don't know. It's all guessing, is it? Even the Thais themselves don't know what they're doing. You know, they keep changing their minds. Right, Glenn Hendricks, Thailand-Bound, Eddie Sweeney, David, Bangkok Diaries, all class acts. Ed Sweeney, yeah, here we go. You were like this. If he won't be watching, he would have commented down there. There you go. And with that, I think it's time. I think it's time for a beer. I've got a little twist on it tonight. There you go. I'm not a pork pie man myself. You hear that? Okay, guys, I'm going to pour a beer, the old Kronenberg. Thanks for the super chat. I do appreciate that. That's paid for the Kronenbergs tonight. Who was that again? That's Franco, I think it was. Well, Hugo Jazz and Franco, thank you very much again. Right, let's get this beer poured. So I bought the slightly smaller one. I normally have a pint, but I could never get, although it's a pint glass and it's a pint of lager, I could never get it in. The lager in the glass. Okay, right, and I'm going to show you what I like to do. I haven't done it on the stream before. It just gives it a little bit of a nice taste to do this, because I was nervous. I'm not nervous anymore, but I used to be nervous, so I didn't. You know, I just made sure everything was there. Right, so you see there's a little bit of a gap in the top there. So what I like to do, and I always do this, I just haven't done it on the stream before. Oh, look, it's black. That's because of you can see the 7-Up, can't you? Oh, look at that. Why has it gone black? Look, it's because of the green screen. Okay, what that is, it's 7-Up, but it's sugar-free, absolutely no sugar in it at all, because I used to have diabetes too. It was self-inflicted because I just ate too much and I was greedy and I had no self-control and I was just a slob, and I got really fat and I lost a lot of weight, and I got tested again. They said I didn't have it. If I'd come in and got tested, then I wouldn't be classed as diabetes. So I just wouldn't even look at a soft drink, you know, let alone drink one. So, God, that's weird, isn't it? Look, the bottle's actually green. Doesn't matter, you know, it's 7-Up. So I've just put a little top of about that much on the pint glass, and that's topped it up, and that'll just make it taste real nice, real nice. So Saturday night, guys, cheers. Oh, damn nice. And someone's just cheered me up here. Look, he said, be more Ron, I'm in rehab, drink one for me. Are you really? Cheers, Pete. Yeah, Munya, cheers to you. Let's put the heater on for 2 minutes. The old heater. We'll turn it off in a minute. I think I mentioned this before. I I gave up for 14 months drinking, and honestly, I swear, I didn't touch a drop. Because my wife, I got a Korean wife. She's from Korea, obviously, South Korea. She said to me, because I was drinking every night like this, and she said, "Oh, you're an alcoholic. I'm going to leave you." And I was like, "I'm not an alcoholic. I like drinking. I like having a few beers every night. It relaxes me. I work hard. I like a couple of beers." And she says, "No, you drink every night." Yeah. And I tried to get out. I said, "No, I'm a social drinker." And she was like, "No, you're an alcoholic. You drink it every single night. You can't stop, and all this. It's going off already." So I said, "No, I'm not." So she said, "We'll prove it." So I said, "All right, I will." And I stopped drinking. I don't know why, 14 months. I think I was going to do, I think it was a year. And I thought I might as well carry on with this. And then one Sunday I thought, I could murder a beer. And I said to my wife, I said, "Look, I'm not going to hide. I'm going to go and buy some beers." And again, in January, the January that's just gone, I didn't have a single drink from the 1st of January until is it 31 days in January? I didn't touch it. And honestly, guys, I'm not just saying that, and I had a sneaky one, or I had one on a Sunday. I did not have a drop. And did I feel any healthier? No. Did I sleep better? No. Did I save a lot of money? No. But I just didn't drink for January. But that proves to me that I can go without it. People say you sleep better when you don't have a drink, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to affect me. So let's have another drink. So, excuse me. Dave G. Nothing wrong with a lemonade top, as they say in Well. Yeah, Dave, that's what we used to call it when we didn't have lemonade. We had, was it lime? The real lime cordial. We call it a lager top. That's what we used to call it. You used to go to a pub and say, "Can I have a lager top?" But I don't go in pubs anymore, not in the UK. Save my money for Thailand. Paul Conlon, I used to drink lager tops. You want to try it again? If you used to drink it when you're young, just get a bottle of 7-Up, no sugar, because, it's very sweet, and just put a little bit in the top of your beer. It really makes a big difference, because it just tastes really nice. But I suppose it's just personal personal taste, isn't it? Let me go back and look at some of these comments. Damien, sounds a good plan. A great hotel. I always stay in the Flipper House in Soy 7, Pattaya. Very good location. Yeah, a few people have told me that Flipper House. It's a good location, that's for sure. I know a guy when he goes to Pattaya. I forget the name of it now, but he said, and it's really nice. Oh no, do I know him? Or was it? No, it was what's his name? Pattaya Pariah. Remember the one? He hasn't made a video for a year, but he actually checked into a hotel which was above a go-go bar, and in order for him to get to his room, he'd have to go through the go-go bar, up the stairs, through the changing rooms where all the girls were. You know what it's like in a go-go bar. And to get to his room and to go out, he had to do the same thing. But the room was very nice, but I don't think that's something I'd want to do. Right, where are we? 205 in the stream now. Welcome to everybody. Mazza, cheers, Peter. I bought my first of the day, a bottle of, what's that? Birra Morty. Ah, okay, yeah. I pronounced it wrong, but I know what you mean. DD, Phuket is not worth the money. Was there for 2 weeks before. Yeah, it's so expensive. I went to Phuket a couple of times. I stayed in the what's that hotel? Is it the CNN hotel in Bangna? Yeah. I mean, they got the bars and it was fun, but it's really costly down there. Really costly. Paul Hoskin, the biggest thing I miss is the atmosphere at night, the music, Blair, and the neon lights. Yeah. Jeff Ives, Thailand tourism brings in more than 18%. Bargo money isn't included, plus the ancillary workers like street food. But yeah, I mean, everybody feeds off the bars. What people forget is, them bars in Pattaya, you look at it and you think, okay, the bar makes money, the girls make money, whoever works there makes money. But you think all the services that support that bar, all the 7-Elevens, without the tourists, they've got no business. All the people who make the beer, drive the trucks that bring the beer to the bars, the people who, the maids who come in the morning, clean the bar, the taxi drivers, the motorbike taxis. I mean, it just affects everybody, doesn't it? D-Rock, yeah, cheers to you. Seamus Doherty, you start drinking at 9. No, I start drinking. Yeah, I mean, sometimes in the house, but I try to have my first one at 10 o'clock on the stream because I don't want to get, Right, who else we got? Right, Levels of madness. So if you put twice as much in it, will it be twice as nice? No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I've got the heater again. It gets too sweet then. I mean, at the end of the day, you're drinking beer, aren't you? And when you put a top on it, just a little, it just gives, it takes the edge off it. It just gives it a nice kind of, it's almost like squeezing lime on salmon. Without the lime, salmon, but without the lime, it's not quite the same. And it's the same. I find it the same with the beer. But of course, if you were to put 10 limes on that salmon, wouldn't taste nice, would it? Right, Dave G, I haven't touched any booze since October. I've also lost 4.5 stone. God knows how things will be when I return to Thailand. I love the cocktails. Well, you know what? I'm always on diets, and I've gone on diets and lost lots of weight, and I'm talking 15 kg, 4 stone I've lost at times. I put it back on, but I've never really stopped drinking. It's not like, people say, if you stop the beer, you'll shed the pounds, and it's true. I mean, beer is fattening, of course it is. There's a lot of calories. I think there's something like 250 calories in a can of lager, but you just have to eat a lot less food, don't you? That's what I found. I mean, the one thing is, when you don't eat, you've got that reward of having a beer in the evening, but if you want to lose it faster, then you give up the beer, I suppose. Paul Hoskin, the doctor said I have an eating problem, but I don't have a problem. I like eating. Yeah, I like that one. It's like the old saying, isn't it? Most people eat to live, whereas the fat guy over there lives to eat. I can't talk. I mean, I put on a lot of weight. I put on a lot of weight during the lockdown, the first lockdown, and also this lockdown. And I don't even weigh myself anymore. I used to come down and think, I must have put on weight, and I'd weigh myself. Bought some digital scales, and I think, oh God, 2 kilos I put on. But do you know what? I don't even weigh myself now. I don't want to weigh myself. Bob Cassidy, congratulations on the beating diabetes. Spread the lesson, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just weight. It's amazing, really. There's so many health issues that if you're overweight, quite a lot overweight, and you shed the weight, it's really hard. Anybody says it's easy to lose weight, it's not. I don't care what anybody says. And if you do manage to shed the weight, then a lot of health issues go. I mean, I'm talking, I had bad knees. I lost. Let me give you an example. So two scenarios. So normally I was weighing about 100 kilos. Doctor said I should weigh about 87 to 90. That's ideal weight, but I look really thin. So I've always been around the 100 mark. One point I went up to about 122. I'm currently about 112. I want to get back down to 100. But what happens is, I mean, I had knee problems. My knees would creak. One day it'd be that knee. The next day it'd be that knee. And so you lose the weight, the knee problem stopped. I used to have a back problem. I'd get up and I'd be like, oh, the back. That went. The diabetes too, that cleared up. I used to walk up the stairs and I'd be panting when I got to the top. That went. I started walking my dog a lot longer and it went. So, I don't want to be a preacher. I'm not going to preach to you guys. I'm no expert, but all I'm saying is the one tip I would give you if you want to lose weight is don't do any of them fad diets. I mean, this plan will work and that plan will work. It's a multi-million-pound business. And like I said, I don't want to preach to you. I'm not an expert in it. But what I'll say is anytime I've lost weight, I've just cut back. And what I would do, a typical diet for me would be something like this. I'll stop in a minute because it's starting to get boring, isn't it? I might have, for breakfast, I might have a sugar-free bowl of cornflakes, but I'd measure it out with a mug every morning. So I knew a flat mug, like a coffee mug, flatten it. And even if I wanted more, that was my portion. So you can get kind of Tesco cornflakes that are absolutely sugar-free and totally skim milk. So I'd have that for breakfast. Lunchtime, I might have a banana. I know it's hardcore. If I got really hungry around 3 o'clock, something like that, I'd have just like a really small handful of nuts or an apple or something like that. And then at dinner time, I'd either have a bowl of porridge with some milk on it, a few sultana, raisins. If I fancied something, if I really had the munchies for something nice, then I might have a small packet of Maggi noodles, curry-flavored noodles, which I know are really bad for you, and they've got a lot of salt and all the rest of it. But sometimes you just got to feed that beast, haven't you? And one thing that worked for me is once I'd been on the diet for 2 or 3 weeks, I had a day off. So I'd make Sunday I can eat what I want days. That wouldn't be like I can go out and buy 2 pizzas from Papa John's and ram them down myself at 10 o'clock at night. But what I mean is a lot of guys fail their diets and women as well, actually, because what happens is they go on a diet, they're good for like 10 days, and they're like, oh, I really fancy a pizza, and they can't stop thinking about this damn pizza. They have a pizza, and they think, oh, well, that's it now. I've had the pizza, my diet's down the drain, carry on, and they're finished. The way I used to play psychological games with myself, the way I did it, I'd say Sunday. So on Wednesday, if I fancied a piece of cod from the chip shop, the fish and chip shop, I say, I really want a piece of cod. This is on a Wednesday. I know I can have it on Sunday. It's 1 o'clock. If I can find a chip shop open on a Sunday, I can have it. You know, same with the pizza, whatever it was, I'd have it on a Sunday. And then Sunday evening, I'd go light again. So I'd have a nice, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd have a pizza, or I'd have a Chinese, a light Chinese, 4:30 in the afternoon. Then that's it, fruit in the evening to snack on. And that worked for me. And as I say, the benefit of that one, if you go on a diet for one day, you're not going to lose weight. If you eat one day a week, you're not going to put on weight. It's 1 day a week, guys, 6 days diet, 1 day off. And that works. And them cravings, they go, you're like, I really want a pizza. I really want a piece of cod. You have it on a Sunday, you start fresh Monday. That's how I did it. So why I'm not doing it now, I don't know, but I will get back on it. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Bob Cassidy, I thought that word said something else. It says fasting versus eating. Yeah, I thought he said something else there. Okay, let's see what's going on here, what everyone's saying. Right, Bob Cassidy. So Bob's talking about fasting. That's something that people do. 3 days of hunger pains go away. It's easier than you think. I want to be 100 kg as well. Right, people coming in now with the diet talk. We'll talk about it a little bit more because it's on. A lot of people are overweight, unfortunately. Just going back to some of the comments I missed on this weight thing. Greg, you go through the dressing rooms after a long night out. Yeah. Okay. Let's have another slurp while I'm reading these. Right, Bob, I tried the fasting. I couldn't do it. The thing is, you get hungry and you got something to look forward to. It doesn't matter what it is. Like me, I used to think, okay, 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, I'm really starving, the belly ache. You get really hungry. It does actually go away, but 5:30, you have a bowl of porridge and you've had something inside you, haven't you? It's not fulfilling taste-wise, but you had something. To not eat for 3 days, I couldn't do it. I tried it. I couldn't do it. I tried it one day. I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to fast for 2 days. I'm going to eat for a day. I'm going to fast for another 2 days. Got to 6 o'clock. I felt like honestly puking up. I felt sick, so I had a banana or something like that. And then you've got the Atkins no carbs. Dave in Bangkok, he's done an Atkins diet and he lost a lot of weight. Well done to him. That's Bangkok Diaries, Thailand. He lost about 25 kg. But honestly, guys, he looks really. I don't want to say this. I'm not trying to insult you, Dave, if you watch this, but he looks really older, a lot older, and a lot more wrinkles and stuff from when he was, overweight, as it were. So that's a negative thing. If you lose the weight, then you do tend to look older. Because when you're fat like I am, look at all your skin gets pulled tight like a drum. See, Right, Hate Spitfire. Hello, guys. How you doing? Yeah, we're doing fine. Okay. Brian Roberts, fasting is okay. Right, Dave G. A friend of mine has lost a lot of weight from having days where he doesn't eat but drinks wine all day. He now has a drink problem. Yeah, I mean, okay. Look, you can't replace food with just drinking white wine. I mean, the problem he succeeded is because he was pissed all the time. But no, I don't think that's a healthy. I'm not going to preach like I say, guys. I'm no. Who am I? I'm just another slob drinking lager talking about it. So you got to find out for yourselves. David Simmons, I'm 111 kg, Peter. I'm normally 100, but the Thai girls do like a bit of upholstery. Yeah. It used to be, it's all gone now. I think it's changed. But when I first got to Thailand in the early 90s, like 1991, I think I was first there, the Thais, they didn't see a lot of fat people because there wasn't, now Thailand's all over the internet, isn't it? You've got cheap travel. It's on the internet. You get guys as young as 22, 23. Instead of going out in the UK, they save all their money and, they go to Pattaya and they fill their boots, as it were. When I first went out there, there wasn't all that. Most of the expats were either working out there or they were retired. You had the younger guys were kind of in their 40s. But the Thais, they weren't used to seeing like fat people so much. And what they used to say, if you were fat, they thought you must be quite wealthy, because in their, I don't know about now, but back then they used to tell me that in their culture, if somebody was fat, then he was wealthy and he could afford to buy a lot of food. He ate well, and that's why he was fat. So when you used to walk around the bars around Pattaya, they used to go, oh, they used to touch your stomach and say, oh, you rich man, rich man. But of course, all that's gone now, isn't it? Yeah, black belt. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you took it in. Like I say, I'm not an expert, but it worked for me. If you've got diabetes, then try and lose weight, guys. It's not easy. It really is not easy. Okay. Taxi to low. Okay, he's talking to someone else. D-Rock 97. Drink a lot of water instead of milk, sodas, beers, etc. with food, and then chicken and more veggies than normal. Cut down on rice, pasta, potatoes instead of candy and sweet. Yeah, I mean, it all helps. The problem is with diets, it's so long term. It's not like, oh, I'll do this for a week and then I'm okay. I mean, you've got to do it for months and months and months. That's why my Sunday plan worked for me, because I always failed on diets. It never worked. But once I started on that Sunday thing where I thought, right, every Sunday I'm not on a diet. You know, I couldn't go crazy. I wasn't going to go out and buy 3 Mars bars and eat them. But saying that, if I fancied a Mars bar, if I had I don't like Mars bars, but if Munchies, you know, the Munchies in the UK, we get this chocolate called Munchies. They're in a red kind of square. They're like that, and they have biscuit with chocolate. I love them. I don't know why. And I used to want Munchies, and sometimes on a Sunday I'd buy these chocolate Munchies and I'd waft the whole pack. But then I got it out of my system. And then Monday I was back to normal. I said I wasn't going to talk about the diet too much, didn't I? Okay, let's talk about something completely different. Let's see what's. Let me try and pull something out here for you. Something interesting. Right. Done that. Okay, so I found this quite interesting. I thought originally it was an April Fool's joke, but apparently it's not. It's true. So the title of this, April Fool's jokes posted online could land you in a Thai prison, police warn. April Fool's jokes, pranks and hoaxes are not allowed to be shared on social media in Thailand. No, it's not a joke. April Fool's jokes posted on social media could land you in Thai jail or slapped with a hefty fine for violating the county's Computer Crime Act. Some April Fool's jokes posted online are considered fake news that mislead the public, and sharing fake news breaks the Thai law. Yeah, so it's like that joker who got himself in trouble. It wasn't fake. Well, I suppose it was fake news. Do you remember that guy? I discussed it in a very early stream, but the guy who stayed in a hotel and they wanted to charge him corkage for opening his own bottle of vodka, and he kicked off like a little girl, didn't he? And that's normal. I was in the hotel industry. If someone brings in their own bottle, then we used to charge them corkage. You can drink it in the restaurant, but they're a business, and they'd say, well, you know, it's 300 baht corkage, but you can drink it. You can use our glasses. But he kicked off. He thought he was something special. And he went away and he wrote all these terrible reviews about this island hotel, and he kept writing them. And you can only push your Thais so far. You know, they're very, Thai people, they're very, there's no gray area with a Thai. They're white or black. When they snap and you're at the other end of that, God help you, because this guy, he went too far. He was posting all these, oh, this hotel's terrible. The service is terrible. They're rude, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, in the end, they arrested him, and he had to make a public apology to get out of it. He was in a lot of trouble. So you don't do it, guys. Right. Darren Drew, Darren, thank you, mate. £5 super sticker there. Appreciate that. That goes towards the Cronenberg. So I'll say a big cheers to you. Did you if you caught that live stream? Thanks, Darren, by the way. If you caught that, sorry, let me just read this one. Popcorn, I noticed that some of the Go-Go Go's were a bit chunkier and was told that there had been a Yabba raid at the border. Obviously, they need a bit of help keeping trim. Yeah, even the Thais girls are. When I first got to Thailand, I keep going on. You know, the old days. You'd find it pretty hard, pretty difficult to come across a chubby Thai girl. Even the girls who'd had babies, they didn't fill out. But you know, you got when I first arrived, you didn't have. I'm just trying to think. McDonald's was around back then. There wasn't everything that there is now, and you know they're eating all this rubbish as well, aren't they? And they're filling out. But I know guys. And one of them is in this stream. I'm not going to name him, but I did a story once, and in the story I said this particular guy in the story, he liked, most guys who are going to Thailand that I know, they like these little petite girls, and I said this guy, he likes the more what they call thick girls, thick, you know, BBW and all this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I might get a rap on the knuckles for that. But this particular guy come back at me and he said in his comment, he said, oh, he's got the same choice as me. I like that. And he's in the stream tonight, so I won't mention him, but he knows who he is. But there's nothing wrong with that. Each to his own, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Right, David G, read jokes in Thailand unless it's a yeah, that's a great way of putting it, David. Read jokes in Thailand unless it's a slapstick comedy Thais don't understand or don't want to know. Yeah, so if it's, that's great, Dave G. Yeah, you know, we were talking about the Billy Bob teeth, and if you've just joined us, there are the Billy Bob teeth, right? I'm not going to put them in because they're so ugly. But, you know, that's the kind of humor they like. You know, you got to them smile, you got these teeth, it's like, ha, ha, ha. But, you know, you tell them, if you spoke fluent Thai and you told them a quite a sophisticated joke, it's, you know, I'm not saying they're silly or they don't get it. Of course they do, but it's just not, it's not what they're into. They like slapstick. That was a great way of putting it, Dave. Right, a nomad overseas. Bob Cassidy, I know what you mean. Okay, that's a private one. Nido, yes, in the 90s, Pompui was a very, Pompui, that's the Thai word for fat, or, you know, Pompui was very attractive in the land of smiles. They used to think, they used to say, they used to pat you on the stomach and say, oh, you have a lot of money, you eat very well. They don't do that now. Content time, yeah, go for it. The 7-Up on the beer is good. Hate Spitfire, BBW. That's what they're called, isn't it? BBW, isn't it? I don't know what it stands for. BBW. It's like big girls. Let me try and guess. Big BBW. I don't know. Somebody will let me know, I'm sure. I don't know where the word thick comes from either. Because in England, in the UK, if you call someone thick, it's slang for saying he's stupid, but in a kind of a nice way. You know, it's like, oh, he's thick, that guy. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I don't know how it comes with the girls. Paul Hoskin, I love the girls who move from side to side. We used to, I remember one night going into a go-go bar with a friend of mine. He's dead now, but good guy. And there was one girl he liked, but he used to call her the vanishing arse because she'd been dancing on stage, and every time, you know, the stage revolved, she'd keep moving, so she was always facing him, so he never seen the backside, which is what he wanted to see. Jason, thank you very much. Jason Buddies just sent me a super sticker there. I'm presuming that's not you in the picture. No, that'll be your girlfriend, I guess. She's lovely, lovely picture. But thanks for that, Jason. Appreciate that. That's some more Cronenberg. Tilt, how are you? I remembered, you see, Tilt from the Isle of Man. BB. Oh, is that what it means? BBW, big beautiful woman. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right, Popcorn. I got held up at Bangkok airport, and in the office they were. Is that pissing? Oh, okay. Pissing their sides at. You can say the word. It's fine. Let me put it up there for you so everybody can see it. What a handsome man. That's what they'll probably say to you when you're there, right? Okay. Too much information, Tilt. There you go. Black Bolt, the vanishing arse. Yeah, that's what you used to call her. If you're not from the UK, it's almost the same as American. You say ass, AWS, where in the UK we say arse. So nearly the same. But yeah, she was called the vanishing arse. Bob Cassidy, I had a fat girl tell me BBW meant big. Okay, let me put it up there. I don't want to say it. Hang on. I've got the wrong one there. Almost time for the second can of the night. And on with the heater for a minute. There we go. Okay, so 1 hour, 20 minutes into the stream. Let's get rid of that. I've got to do a little bit of, I've got to show you this because they're actually supporting me, this live StreamYard, which is a software I use. They're supporting me now. I'm not paying for it. They're giving me some sponsorship. So a big hi to everybody at StreamYard. Actually, I watched a couple of their videos how to use StreamYard, and you know, the two founders of the company were doing the videos. And I looked at them and I thought, where have I gone wrong? What have I done wrong in my life? You know, one looked like he was about 19 and the other one looked like he was about 12. And, you know, the hundreds of thousands of people who use this software, you think, well, they're absolutely minted. They're making so much money. And here I am close to retirement and I'm still watching my pennies. But there you go. Good luck to you guys if you ever watch this. Not that you will probably, but good luck if you do. Okay, let's get rid of that. Right, Paul Hoskin. I remember the girls laughing at Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura. Yeah, that's kind of I've watched Ace Ventura, but I can imagine they would love something like that. It's very visual, isn't it? Especially, I like the bit where he's in the hotel room and is it a hotel room or is it no? It's his apartment. Ace Ventura. He's in his apartment. His landlord knocks his door. He comes in. He says, "I've heard you've got pets in here. Have you got animals in this apartment?" He's like, "Nope, there's nothing here," and it's all quiet. You know, there's nothing there. Nope, there's nothing here. His landlord goes. He starts opening drawers and wardrobes, and you've got these parrots and other birds and everything just flying around him, and he's funny, good film. Right, what else we got? Who else we got here? David, that same old question. When do you think we can travel to Thailand again? Don't buy a suitcase right now because it's not going to be for a while. Right, content time. Is the weather still cold in the UK? Must be if you're turning the space heater on. It's really weird. We had a day, believe it or not, we had a day last week. I went out with my dog and I only wore a t-shirt and it was hot. Where I am now, I had to leave the door up and I haven't got a fan or anything. I've got a portable fan that I bring down in the summer. But I haven't got it here at the moment. And it was really hot. And the following day, it was freezing. I had to put the heating on. So I don't know. Is it global warming? Who knows? So it's already too hot. It only goes on for a minute or two. It's like Ed Sweeney's famous squeaking door. I've got my almost now a small celebrity here, my heater. I tried putting it here on the heater, but it didn't work. Okay, Bob Cassidy, how much is StreamYard paying you? They're not giving me any money at all. I don't get any money whatsoever from StreamYard. They let me use the software as long as I give them a mention. That's it. Which is it helps me out because I'm not making loads of money on here. Yeah, thanks, Black Bolt. It's only until June. I might. What did you think of if any of you watched that stream, that unscheduled stream with me and Simon in the week? I think it was 2 days ago we did it. Simon's a lot better at technical stuff than me. He can write some code, and he did this kind of the stream looked like we were sat in a kind of a pub. It was all bricks. There was a jukebox, and when somebody did a super chat, these coins fell into a jar, and it had like top geezers and all that, and it looked really good. But so I don't know. I mean, it's not something I'm capable of. But next time me and Simon do one, you'll see that again. I bet they would love the Three Stooges. Yeah, anything. And Charlie Chaplin. If you're coming to the stream late, we're talking about the Thais. They like the slapstick humor. So anything visual. Ahmet, hi from Istanbul, Turkey. Yeah, hi to you. Thanks for joining us. Right, Andy, 123 Peter. Do you ever watch The Eyes of Owen? Has a new channel. Is this a plug for somebody? Has a new channel. He's similar to you and Eddie. No, I haven't watched him. I'm not afraid to give him a mention. I will mention him when I'm ready to mention him. I don't want to start plugging all these sites now because I did 10 last week and everybody bloody left the stream, you know. So I don't mind mentioning other channels, and I will do, but at my, you know, when I'm ready to mention him. Okay. Right, I think I'm going to have to crack on with another beer. Right, let's look at a couple of other bits of news. So I've done all that. I don't know if I'm going to do a full 2 hours today. I might cut it a little bit short because when I go in, I feel really tired. Okay. Here's a story for you. Not too long, but just let you know what's going on the dark side, as it were. 2 Thai women arrested in Bangla-Mung, is it, after being allegedly involved in foreign online scams. Okay, guys, online scams. Are you talking to girls online? 2 Thai women were arrested in the place I just said after being involved with a group of foreign men, online romance scammers from Africa. Yesterday, a team of police arrested 2 Thai women, a 25-year-old and a 31-year-old. Seized from them were ATM cards and many bank books. The arrest came after police were notified that many victims had lost a lot of money due to online romance scams They were conned into sending money to someone they thought was a potential lover, but actually an organized group of criminals, both in Thailand and in Africa. These suspects had attained Thai bank books and ATM cards for about 7,000 baht with each set before sending the bank books to foreigners who stayed in other countries for about 15,000 baht. These were used to convince potential victims the Romac interest was in the country. Yeah, so in other words, what they were doing, the Thai women were opening bank accounts, and it was costing them about 7,000 baht to do all this. And then once they got the account, they give all the details to the guy in Africa or wherever he was for 15,000 baht. So they've just made, what's that, 8,000, something like that, baht on each time they do it. And what the guys, the scammers are doing is they're writing to guys, or seen your picture, whatever it is, and they get them enticed. And it's like, oh, my name is Nok, I'm in Khon Kaen in Isan. And, you know, when you look at the bank account details that he's going to send the money to, it looks genuine, doesn't it? So very clever. So be careful, guys. You know, you've got to be so careful of these things. It's like sometimes people write to me and they say, you know, oh, some of your stories that you tell me terrify me. I haven't been to Thailand before, but I want to go and meet a Thai girl. I wouldn't ever pick one up from a go-go bar or a beer bar, but I've been communicating with this girl on Thai Friendly, so I think she's okay. No, guys, honestly, I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of girls. They're very clever now. They work on these dating apps. They're online. They're on all these social media apps, and it's just a way of getting business, you know. So don't assume that if a girl is on Thai Friendly or she's on Facebook or she's on whatever she's on, that she's not a working girl. I'm not trying to talk badly for the genuine girls who are on there, but I'm just trying to help you guys who are, you know, you might not know, you know, you've got to be there and know what it's all about. And because you see a girl on Thai Friendly, it doesn't mean, you know, it's a sure bet, as it were. Right. John Hershey, what does Simon do? Is he retired? No, Simon's very much not retired. That's Simon, my friend in Bangkok. He has a business. They convert containers. So he buys the containers. All the containers come from China. They don't have the red tape, not the red tape. They don't have the taxes like we have here on that sort of thing. But he'll buy a load of containers from the port that aren't going back to China. And then they have a business. He converts them into toilet blocks. People make houses out of them, office, all that sort of thing. So that's what Simon does. But he wants to wind it down because it's a lot of work and it's really hard work working with his Thai construction staff, you know. Ahmed, you drinking? I'm drinking lager. Many thanks for your live. Yeah. Oh, you got to have a drink on a Saturday night. Else what's the point? Jason Bodie, most freelancers and bar girls are on Thai Friendly. I found this out in recent years. Black Bolt, Thai Friendly is lethal. You sound like you had some experience. Okay. Munya, is it? Munya can do. Thanks for the is it a super chat or super stick? I'm not sure, but you've made a contribution to the channel. More Kronenbergs, 1664 lagers to you, Peter. Keep up fire, mate. Thank you very much. I do really appreciate that. It's very kind of you, and I don't take it for granted. So I don't take it for granted. Sincerely, I'm very thankful. Thank you. Bob Cassidy, I love shipping container houses. Well, if you think about it, they're metal, aren't they? But you know, they don't just like stick a door in a window. And I mean, when they're fully, when they make them, the insulation is fully done, and they've got air conditioning. And yeah, I mean, and Thailand is a hot country anyway, isn't it? So they're not going to have the problem with the damp and leaking like that we do here. Right, Michael Whitaker. Good afternoon from California. Good to see you live again. Yeah, thank you, Michael. I quite enjoy the live thing. I didn't enjoy it last week. I was actually I was sweating like a dog in a Chinese takeaway. That's not my saying. That's somebody else's. But what it was, I won't talk about this for a long time. But what it was, there is a built-in mic on the camera, and I didn't realize, and it just switched to that. And of course, I did realize. I tried to go back to it, but it wouldn't let me do it while I was on the stream. I've disabled that one now, so there isn't a choice. It has to come on this one. World peace. Love those stories. Yeah, thanks. Right, Bob Cassidy. I thought they would be bad in Thailand because they're not insulated. It would be like an oven. No, they are insulated, Bob. I've been to Simon's factory a couple of times, And when they build them, like I say, they don't just like put tiles on the inside and cut a window and a door. I mean, they're fully insulated and they have air conditioning in each room, and they're fantastic. Some foreigners have them. They live in some place out in the sticks, and instead of building a house, they convert a container, and it's a cheaper option for them, and it comes on a truck, and they put it in situ where the guy wants it. They hook up to the electric and the water, and Bob's your uncle. Where you go. Right, I think I've got to crack up this second beer now. I definitely drink a lot slower doing a live stream than I do in the house. If I had my first one at what we know, 10:30. I think I don't know, 10 o'clock. Yeah, I probably would be on number 3 by now. Damien, Peter, will you do any live streams when you're back in Thailand? Oh yeah, but I won't be sitting behind a computer like this. I'll be out and about. I watched Chris do one in. I didn't watch it for long because I was busy, but I watched him do one in Khao Sun Road. He seemed a bit inebriated to me, but no problem with that. But the problem is if you're doing a live stream out and about, it's very, very difficult to, unless you're, if you're sat in a cafe on the beachfront in Pattaya and you've got your camera set up or your laptop, then you can do a live stream and you can talk to people. But if you're on a phone like Chris was that day and he's, hey, I'm in Khao Sun Road and here's this one and here's this girl from Singapore, how can you talk to people? You can't. They can watch what you're doing, but you can't engage. The whole point of a live stream is, it used to be videos, didn't it? People watch your videos, but it's kind of moving in a different direction now. Everyone's doing live streams, which is good because you can, you can engage with people. If you've got something to say, you can say it here, and I can answer you. Yeah. Okay. Needle. Yeah. That was Pat's saying "sweating like a dog" in a Chinese takeaway. That's a bit racist, actually. I shouldn't say things like that. Bob Castillo, I know about them. Okay, I don't know who you're talking with there. Right, let's get the old lemonade top on this. If you've just joined us, I'm having a lager, but it's look at that, look, see-through bottle of 7-Up. Just do a bit of a top on that one. Do you know what? It's so nice to have the sound back again. It was terrible last week. The thing is as well, if something's wrong, you just can't concentrate. I've got 2 screens in and there's 2 lots of different chat and I don't know which one's the latest one, but because I know about them. Okay, I think there's a delay with this one. Let me go to. Right, let me show that. I don't know why it's held that, Paul. I'm going to show that. Okay, there you go. Right, I don't know if you aimed that at me, Greg, or somebody else. Last week was fine. You're obsessing. Yeah, it might have been fine for you, Greg, but it wasn't fine for me because I know what the sound can sound like, and I was very disappointed. So maybe I was, but I seen someone do a live. This is Hater Spitfire. I seen someone do a live stream on Beach Road. It was cool. Yeah. So Peter, when you get back to Thailand, where is the first place you're going to go? We did that a bit earlier. Bangkok, Pattaya for a week, then back to Bangkok, just because it's been so long. Right, Andy Davey 123. I felt. Oh, hang on. Let me read the one above that because I think he's missed me. 8 Lucky 8. Hello, Peter. I hope that this message finds you well. What's the situation with Thailand at the moment? Yeah, it does find me well, but we're not going there. That's all I can say at the moment. It looks like the end of the year now. Right, Andy 123. I felt for you last week with the sound issues because you don't realize it's happening. So having to go off different comments in the stream. Yeah, and you know what? I watch it. It's not because I've got an ego. I watch the stream on a Sunday or because I've got a Beagle and I walk him 2 miles every night and a mile in the morning because I like getting out in the fresh air because I'm sat in here a lot of the time. And what I do is the stories lasted 26 minutes. So I'll put the phone in my pocket. I'll put my headphones in and I listen to it. Not because I've got an ego and I want to think, oh, I want to hear myself. I'm so great. But what it is, if you listen to it like you guys listen to it, and I don't watch a video, I'm just listening. Sometimes I'll pick up on things and think, oh, I could do that better if I did it this way, or I went on a bit too much at the beginning. The intro was too long. I used to do very long intros because I felt like I had to explain everything. And I used to get a lot of people say, come on, just get on with it. You go on too much. You're waffling. And if you notice my older videos compared to my newer videos now, I'll say hello. I've got 3 stories, a little bit about the stories, maybe a minute into it, and bang, we're into the first story. Whereas in the old days, I could go, 7 minutes and I still hadn't started a story. Okay, I'm still trying to work out where I'm going to take these. I think I'm going to take them from here. These look more up to date. Bear with me, guys. Right. No, I think they're both the same. They just look different. Right, Alexander, you're quite dedicated. It's not a case of dedicated. I enjoy it. I mean, I don't go out to pubs anymore, and I don't want to blow my own trumpet. I have got a lot of experience from Thailand. I first went out there in 1991. I've lived in Pattaya for 2 or 3 years. I lived in several locations on Sukhumvit for more years. I went back to the UK. I went back out there again. I've visited probably more than 100 times. So, I love Thailand, and I love talking about Thailand, and I love the Thai people, and I love the Thai food, and I like talking to people who have been to Thailand. It's ingrained into me now. If I don't go out to pubs in the UK, but to go into a pub and talk to somebody who's, the game's on tomorrow. Did you see who's playing on soccer, or did you watch a rugby match? It's like, oh my God, no, it's not me, guys, honestly. Bottle Baby, yes, I have noticed the difference in your stories. Much better. You learn as you go along, don't you? You do what you think. When you make a video, when you start on YouTube, you do it in such a way that you think it's good, and you'll only learn to make it better from what people tell you. I mean, I've had people sort of send me a comment, and they'll just say something like, your videos are shit, or you're a wanker, or something like that. I'll probably get banned now because I'm using swear words, but yeah, I just don't even write back to them because it doesn't mean anything, does it? If a guy wrote to me and said, hey, listen, Peter, I like your videos, but you really go on a little bit too much at the beginning, you need to cut that down, I'd think about that. And if somebody else wrote it, 2 or 3 people, then I would cut it down because they're telling me in a nice way. But if somebody writes to you and they just say, what a load of crap, you've never even been to Thailand, then there's no point, is there? Black Bolt, I recently seen videos on Kosan Road on Saturday Night Spectacular. Saturday Night, is that a channel? Saturday Night Spectacular? Nindo, Peter, any observation or option about the plastic surgery in Asia and Thailand? Not really, only they all have it, don't they? I mean, the lady boys, they're big into it, aren't they? They're adult. Like used to be able to tell a lady boy, one of the things was from their Adam's apple. It was quite big, but there's a procedure now where they can actually get it shaved down. They open them up and shave it down, so that goes, but it doesn't. They can't make their feet any smaller, can they? That's the thing. No, I mean, plastic surgery. They've got excellent, doctors, physicians, whatever you want to say, who do all that. But it's like anything else; you have to research it. I had tattoos removed in Bangkok years ago when I was young. I come from a different era. When I grew up in the sort of 70s, early 80s, all the guys got tattoos. You'd have an anchor here, you'd have, mum and dad, not mum and dad, but a girl's name and all that. And I had them removed. I mean, there's still, look, you wouldn't, because of the camera, I mean, there's a little bit of ink there, but you can't, let me see if I can get a bit closer. Can you pick that up? I mean, I had a big one there, right there. That was black and white. I had, can you see any ink on there? It's really hard on there, isn't it? You can't really see, that's the problem. But look, you can see now, I look like tattoo-less. Is that a word? I had one there. You see that? I can't believe that's not picking that up. No, it's not picking it up. Okay, I had one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. And I had a girl's name under my watch. So when you're young in the UK and you grew up, like I said, I come from a different era. It was a thing to do. You had tattoos, not to be kind of hard, but it was just you were one of the boys. You got tattoos. You're down the pub with your arms rolled up. Winter, it's freezing, but you're there with your arms, your thing turned up. And when I went abroad, I very quickly found out people judge you, and they do, because I've seen people nowadays. My 2 daughters that have a tattoo, I hate it, absolutely hate it. Girls and tattoos for me don't go, but I tried to talk my daughters out of it. They're over 18. They wouldn't. They're not plaster or in anywhere. They can't cover up, but they've got a couple, and I really don't like them on girls. But people judge you if you've got tattoos, and please don't write to me and say I'm being You know, you're covered in tattoos and you don't agree. If you've got them, fair play to you. That's your choice. But when I was there, I just found out that people judge me a little bit, especially in Asia. They tend to think of you as a bit of a gangster background if you've got tattoos. Back then, anyway. Not now, because everybody's got them in Thailand. Even all the bar girls have got them. But people used to judge me. And in England, they were so expensive to remove. But I went to, do you know what? It's so long ago, I can't even remember where I got them done. But I remember it was 5,000 baht, and this is about 20 years ago. But it's cheap. Paul's just said it's cheaper than surgery. But it's really interesting. I'll go through your comments and talk about it in a minute. But it's really interesting how they do it. What they do, if you've never had a tattoo removed, what they do, so you got the, if they just lasered it full on, your skin would never grow again. It'd kill your skin. So what they do, they just laser it very lightly, and what happens, the top of your skin frazzles. You know, the worst thing is the injections. They give you lots of injections under the tattoo to numb you, but they're bloody painful. You know, turn the needle like that, you have about 12 on one tattoo, right under it. Ooh. Anyway, they give you the laser once, and then you scab up, and you can't come back for a month because it takes a month for them scabs to drop off, your skin to regrow and heal, and then you go another month. And if they're black and white, it takes 2 months. But if you've got coloured tattoos, it can take up to a year. Mine were 10 months. I should have gone back one more time to completely remove them. But what happens is, as they take off a really thin layer of skin with a laser, the new skin grows up. And then they do it again, that grows up, and eventually the ink goes up and up and up, and there's no ink left, and that's how they remove the tattoos. And I had mine done. I'm really happy that I got them done. You know, like I said, I don't like them now. Right, let's see what people are saying about tattoos tonight. Hate Spitfire, I treat your stories like a podcast. Somebody said to me, why don't you do podcasts? But honestly, guys, I don't have any time. I told you many times, these stories, they take like sometimes 2 days. What is it? Right, Nido. It seems that nose jab is standard these days. Let me. I don't know why they've hidden that. YouTube have hidden that again. Let me open that so people can see it. I think I'm going to work off this screen. This is looking a bit. 183 in the stream now, so obviously I've bored some people. They've ran off. Cheers, guys. Right. Content time. I heard they don't allow you to go into onsens in Japan if you have a lot of tattoos. One more reason to avoid them. Yeah, that's probably for the locals though, isn't it? Because in Japan, the Yakuza, you know, the gangsters, they're covered in tattoos, aren't they? I don't know, maybe it's changed now. Chugsy, that's a good name. Right, the only story where you rambled on too much was the one where Buddy had a meeting in Singapore and ran into... Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that was the guy wrote to me, and we had a few emails back and forth. Okay, I don't know what's held that. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Hang on. YouTube are so, they hold these comments. I'm going to show it. Hate Spitfire. There you go. They hold them. I don't know why. I have to sort of show them. Yeah, I mean, he was a nice guy, and he sent me this story. He put a lot of effort into it. Yeah, and you know, he was talking about his dinner, and the minister was there, and you know, then he went there, and I mean, yeah, even for me, as I was writing, I think I should cut all this out, but I thought I'll get it out there when it's done and dusted. And but yeah, you're right. I understand. It's done now, though, isn't it? Yeah, Alexander Dupont. That's true. I never understood that. You know, this thing about you know, they'll call you a butterfly. Oh, you butterfly man. It means you go from girl to girl. But yeah, all these girls, these bar girls, they tend to have a butterfly tattoo on them. Okay. Right, how long we've been on? Hour and 45. Right, I'll give it another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll tell you about this underrated channel that I was going to tell you about, which I think is fantastic. But I'll tell you about that just before I scoot off, as it were. Sam Moffat, I was thinking you could do a podcast, just take the audio from the video and then just turn it into audio file to podcast. It's still, yeah, but you know, Sam, at the end of the day, I mean, look, if somebody wants to listen or watch it, they know where I am. You know, they don't have to watch me physically on screen. I mean, I've got those stories. I get guys write to me. They say, look, I work out on a Saturday morning. I listen to you in the background. I had one guy write to me today. Actually, he's a bit pissed off because what he does, he'll set it on start. So normally stories are around anywhere between sort of 20 and 40 minutes, but generally around 30 minutes. So he works out on a, you know, he probably works out more than Saturday, but Saturday mornings he works out. And so he starts the video on his, whatever he's got in his little gym at home, and he's there pumping his iron. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm just trying to think of an advert off the top of my head, you know, writing made easy with whatever that company is, you know. So he has to stop his work and get out, wait 5 seconds, and, you know, and it is actually quite annoying because even for me, you know, sometimes I'll look at my videos and I'll keep opening videos just to check things, and I have to sit through the adverts, but, you know, I can't complain. There's a little bit of money coming in now, so. And it is a little bit, like Ed said on his Sweeney, on his channel the other day. You don't make loads, and look, the guys who have got 200,000-300,000 subscribers. If you've got 100,000 subscribers plus, you can live well on that. But if you're like me, I just hit 18,000 after a year and a half this week. I get a lot of people unsubscribe as well, because my channel is the sort of channel like somebody will come along and think, oh, I love these stories, and they'll binge your channels for a weekend. And they'll for the next few weeks they'll religiously watch my stories, and they're like, oh, this is boring, same old thing, and they'll go off. So I get a lot of new guys come on every week, but I also get a lot of people leave, and it's not because I'm doing anything wrong. It's just, you know, I'm not in Thailand, am I? Okay, let's see what you lot are saying. Right, Hater Spitfire. I'm from. That's a weird name actually. Hater Spitfire. Okay, I'm from Connecticut. It's 5:43 p.m., so it's hard for me to catch your show. Yeah, I know. It's really hard to sort of satisfy everyone around the world just because of the different time frames. That might be a blessing for you, actually. Okay. Right. Bob Custody, time now. Japan has the opposite problem. Soy boys locking themselves up in their parents' house, afraid to come out. Okay, I've not heard about them. Bob Custody again. Time, watch. Oh, you're talking to somebody else, but you're saying watch. No, well, I won't say it here. I have got Hate Spitfire. You should have sponsors. I have got one sponsor, and they'll be happy if I put their name up again. I'll leave that up there for a little while so you can see that. I don't get any money from them, but this is software that I'm using with the nice backdrop and the little logo there, Thailand-Bound. It's quite expensive. Well, it's not expensive, but you know, it's not cheap, put it that way. And these guys let me use it if I sort of promote them a little bit. There you go, you can see that there. That's StreamYard, thanks to you guys. All right, let's get rid of that. Do you know, I was a bit gutted as well. I was a bit upset last week as well because of this sound issue. I've never mentioned so many YouTubers, and I was hoping, you know, some of them might give me a mention. That's the whole thing. You know, there's people paranoid to mention other YouTube channels because they think, oh, they'll steal all my viewers. But it doesn't work like that, in my opinion. I think if you're like Buzzin Pattaya, and I didn't do it just to get his viewers, but I mentioned his channel a few weeks ago because I said it's a great channel, enjoy it. He's done this, and I thought the video was great. So because of that, being a nice guy, he came back on his video the following week, and he said, look, I got a mention from Thailand-Bound. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. And because of that, I got a few more viewers from his channel, and I feel sure that he probably got some viewers from my channel to subscribe. So that's a good thing. I mean, it's not bad, is it? Okay, I'm just trying to pull out the drinks up for StreamYard. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull out the comments where you're actually talking to me and not to each other. Okay, I haven't got much of the news left. The best one tonight was that one, was it? Court sentences Thailand's Jack the Ripper to death. Best one I've read for a long time. Okay, just there's no story here, just a couple of headlines. So Hua Hin Airport, Hua Hin, is speeding up the extension of its runway to facilitate landings for Boeing 737 and Airbus A320 aircraft. So Hua Hin will no longer be the sleepy, nice seaside town where it's going to have hordes of people flying in directly from the States and UK and all the rest of it. But there you go. Have to find another place to go. I don't know if anybody interested in this. Hua Hin water parks to reopen on June 20. Big deal. I think I've just about gone through everything with you. Yeah, okay. So I think let's read a few more of your comments out here. Bob Custy, do a live stream of Buzz in Pattaya. Yeah, I'd have to be there, wouldn't I? I mean, I don't know if he does, if he'd do a live stream with me, but I don't know if I could add anything to his channel. He does quite a good job of it by himself. Follow 20 seconds in Thailand. CB Media and you, Peter, all good. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I think we're pretty much there now. There's not too much chat coming in at the moment. Let's have another drink. Cheers. Right, okay, I think I'll... Damien, there is a lot of talk about Walking Street with licensing not being renewed. I've heard... yeah, thanks, Jason. I've heard sort of various things about Walking Street. Somebody told me, oh, it's the Thai government are using what's going on at the moment as an excuse not to renew licenses so they can shut down all the bars because they want to get rid of that reputation. But the way I look at it, it's the Thai government. They don't need an excuse, do they? They can just say we want them bars shut and that's the end of it. And like last week I said to you, even though the sound was bad, they're trying to... Now, this could work. When I heard the story the first time about they're trying to turn Pattaya into a family, you know, a world-class family destination, I nearly fell out of my seat. But the news I read out the other week there was, or last week, which I'd read just a few days before, is that they're trying to, because this had been planned before this all happened, but they're getting it back into gear now. They want to turn Pattaya into a kind of hub for tech, anything tech. You know, Chang-Mia have a lot of IT people up there. They're normally young guys. They do drop shipping. You know, they make websites. They do all that sort of thing. They got a shared workspace, but they're mainly youngsters. Not youngsters. You know, a lot younger than me. Put it that way. And what they were saying in the news is Pattaya would make a very good venue to attract a kind of a crowd, technical IT kind of crowd, because they've got the venues there, big venues there, and they wanted to turn it into a kind of a tech hub. That's what I'm trying to say, a tech hub. And I thought that could work, you know, because that'd make everybody happy, wouldn't it? You'd have all these guys flying in on conferences and lectures and all the rest of it. At night, they could go out and let their hair down, and it would, yeah, it could happen. So we'll have to watch this space, as they say. If I hear anything, you'll be the first to know. Andy Smith, Trev at Buzz in Pattaya doesn't do live streams. Yeah, somebody mentioned that last week, but if I had to make a bet, I bet he will start doing them, because I didn't do live streams for about a year and a half. It's very, if you've never done one before, it's very nerve-wracking to do one. I was sweating on my first one because you're sitting in front of a camera, and it's not like when you make a video, if you cock up, you can just go and edit it. You can, like, sometimes on videos, I'll cough or I'll, you know, I'll get an itchy nose, I'll scratch inside my nose. But, you know, I can just cut that out of the video. But when you're live, you can't do that. If you run out of things to say, or, you know, you drop a cup of water over yourself, it's there, it's live, it's out there. So not everybody feels comfortable doing live streams. The first one I did, like I said, I was sweating. I was glad when it came to the end. I don't know why, it really made me tired. It mentally drained me. But now I've done about 6 or 7. I'm used to them, and I find them quite easy and enjoyable. And I feel sure Buzz in Pattaya, is it Trevor, his name? I feel sure he will do them eventually. He will do them. His numbers are going up now. He'll have to do them on. He'll have to engage with his viewers, or else he'll keep on at him. Digital nomads, yeah. Content time. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for, and I couldn't remember. It's called old age. The guys up in Chiang Mai, digital nomads. That's the right way to say it. Content time. You can't leave without finishing your drink. If you say it like that, I could down that really quick, but I don't enjoy that. How long have we been on it? 1 hour 53 minutes. Okay, I'll give it a little. As long as I've got some. I'm still going to tell you about this guy's channel, and then you can go off and have a look at that. Sam Moffat. There is already some tech in Pattaya, and I've seen some conferences run there, as well as, yeah, well, that's good. That's good. As well as some of it is also cost of getting appropriate workplaces compared to other places. Okay, but you know, on a personal view, I think if they turned Pattaya into a kind of tech hub and people flew in for conferences and they you know what would happen? The Thais, I always say, they're really resilient. They're really, when it comes to business, they're switched on. And what will happen is you start getting all these tech guys in, you're going to have a soy with nothing but computer. It'll be the new Mabu, was it Mabu Kong? Where was the computer? It was Mabu Kong, wasn't it? The big computer mall. I'm sure it was Mabu. No, it wasn't Mabu Kong. That was, what was it called? Somebody will let me know here. It's very quiet there actually now, but they used to do all the copy discs, you know, you could get all the software and everything. It's not Mabu Kong, no. Greg, Las Vegas, went with a family, friendly route, Pattaya could learn. Yeah, exactly. You talk about Las Vegas, it's known for gambling, isn't it? But they really know how to market the town. They have all these big conferences there. So yeah, maybe it'll go the same way. Hey Spitfire, I think that was your best move doing the live stream. Okay. The problem with the live stream, it's very hard to decide when you're going to do it because, the thing is, you're trying to cater to everybody. You think, well, who's my audience? Am I going to? You can't please you can't cater to everybody. You know, I know a lot of Australian guys watch my videos. I know a lot of American guys do. A lot of England. I've got stats. My highest viewership is from the UK. Believe it or not, it's first UK, America, Australia, Thailand. That's the top 4. So obviously I've got to do a time that suits me and a time that suits other people. I watch Ed Sweeney's. He does his 10 o'clock every Wednesday. For me, it's a little bit late, but it's okay. I mean, he only does about an hour and a half. So, it's okay. Black Boat, Tukam, what's that? Pantip, that's it. Pantip Plaza, Christopher, yeah. Pantip Plaza, I'm sure you've been there before, but that used to be, in the day, as they say, you used to get all the copy software. You could get Windows, you could get all the Microsoft products, you could get all the imaging software, the stuff that you pay. They did it all on CDs, and they had keys and cracks and all. Still got some of them, but you could get it all. But nowadays it's all changed because when you have software, because the internet's so fast now. When you buy software, the cracks and all that would never work, the copy software, because what happens is every time you open up your browser with this software, or you open up the software, it sends a signal out to the server of the company to come back and check that it is a real copy. And if it's not, it just won't work properly. So good old days, as they say. But yeah, thanks for letting me know that. You're absolutely right. Pantip Plaza. And it used to be packed. You'd go down there on a Saturday afternoon and there was a lot of floors and all the computers laid out and guys trying to sell you these discs, and you could buy naughty discs as well, if you know what I mean. And but I recently went there. I thought, I'll go and have a look, see what it's like, buy a few discs. Absolutely like any other mall. I was nothing special, nothing happening. Bob Cassidy, I so shop at tech store with a sexy cyborg Chinese text blogger. Okay, how many of you had tonight? Bob Smith, all you have to do is be by yourself. Right, guys, we're coming up for 2 hours. It's 1 hour 57. It's gone very well tonight. Thanks for all your input. Before I go, let me tell you, let me get it ready here to show you. Okay, drum roll. Now, this guy, I'm not giving him a big shout out because he's a best mate and my good friend. I mean, he is a nice guy. I spoke to him today we emailed each other. The channel I'm going to tell you about, honestly, guys, and I mean this really sincerely, the channel I'm going to tell you about, in my view, my personal opinion, is the most underrated YouTube channel for a Thai vlogger. It really is. I'll tell you the name of it in a sec. This guy, he lives in Bangkok. His videos are so well put together. He's not just walking down the street and saying, look at that bar's closed, look at that bar. Actually, I haven't seen any videos where he talks about bar goes, but he'll do a video of an area and he'll give you the history. And the guy does a lot of research. He gets a lot of old pictures. He recently done one on Washington Square. Even me, I didn't know that the CIA used to drink in a particular bar in Washington Square. And this particular bar, they knocked down Washington Square. Now, I actually lived in Soi 22, very close to it, and I didn't know this. He's done one called I should have wrote this down, but some five stages of Nana Plaza or something. But what he does, he'll go out to a place, he'll give you the full history. He often shows a lot of old pictures, and then he'll give you the rundown. He's on Sukhumvit, he goes down all the soys. But the production of his videos is absolutely excellent, first class. And like I say, I personally would put him in the top 10, if not the top 5 YouTubers. Now, unfortunately, because he's working full time, he only puts out about, I am going to get to the point and tell you who it is, but I want to build up the video because it is a good channel. So the reason he's only got 1,560 subscribers when I last looked this afternoon, and the reason for that is he doesn't post a lot of videos. His schedule is kind of 2 a month, and what happens with the YouTube algorithm, if they don't see you posting a lot of videos a lot of the time, they don't tend to show you in the results. So this guy's videos, you can have somebody who's a real, you know, he puts videos out every day that are 5 minutes long and they're absolutely crap about nothing. You know, he's like filming his Kalpak guy, his chicken fried rice with a fried egg on top, and that's his video. But because he does it every day, YouTube says, oh, this guy puts a lot of videos, and they'll put his videos in more important than the guy I'm going to tell you about. And because of this, he doesn't have the subscribers. So when I tell you who this is, I hope you'll subscribe to him. Watch a couple of his videos because they are absolutely excellent videos. The guy, he does really deserve more subscribers. It's only, what's up here? It's only because of the YouTube algorithm that he hasn't got the subscribers. Mazza, don't worry about it. You get guys put thumbs down all the time. I don't worry about it. Thanks, Damon. Good night. I'll see you. I know you have an early night. Just trying to see if anybody's guessed it yet. No, not yet. Anyway, okay. I'm going to put the guy's name up on screen in a minute. But like I say, the reason I'm a lot of reasons why I'm recommending him. His videos are excellent. A lot of history, a lot of research. And guys, if you don't want to subscribe to this guy after watching a couple of videos, I'll be really surprised. Let me know next week when we do the live stream together. Let me just get his name up now. Right now, write this down, guys. If you haven't got time to watch it tonight, watch it tomorrow. It's an excellent channel. Right, so let's wait for this to go up, and then I'll mention him again. There you go. Right, it's a channel called Bangkok Pat. Okay, that's all you need to put into YouTube. Bangkok Pat. Go and have a look at his videos. They are excellent. And with that, Pat, you owe me a beer if you watch this. With that, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Thanks very much for joining me again. Still 180 in the stream. 81 thumbs down, 5 thumbs down. So somebody didn't like it. Just finish off on the really quickly on the streams. Okay, Andy Jacks, thanks Peter for the live stream. Yeah, thanks Mazza. 5 idiots putting thumbs down. It's up to them, isn't it? Bottle Baby, thanks for time tonight. I'm trying to get the mouse on the other screen now. Chuggy sub, thanks. Michael Whitaker, cheers. Doug. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. Till, all the best. Yeah, hate Spitfire. Okay, Bangkok Pat, I'll look him up. I'll be really surprised if you don't subscribe to him. He only does 2 videos a month. Go on, guys, subscribe to him. He deserves you know, he really does deserve more subscribers. He really does. Popcorn, thanks. Have a great Easter, everyone. Yeah, mine is 2 on Monday, by the way, here, bank holiday. Yeah, Jason, Colin, Mazza, Paul Conlon, Bob Cassidy. Guys, cheers. Thanks a lot. Great stream. I'll catch you with 3 more love stories, or maybe 4 on Saturday. Love stories is the wrong word to say, isn't it? Relationship stories. And go off and watch Pat's channel now or tomorrow. I'll catch you next Saturday. Thanks, guys. It's been a great stream. And for all you guys who did the super chat, super stickers, appreciate it very much. Thanks, guys. Good night.